I just don't even know how to express how excited we are as a program, as a staff. This is something that is beyond special to us, that is going to take our program to a whole nother place we've never experienced before. So to me, it's been the missing piece to this puzzle for our program, and we're excited to see what the future brings.
We get started with Jason Kersey.
Yeah, Patty, I'm wondering, with softball being as big and important as it is in the SEC, the likes of Alabama, Florida, was it important to get this done and get this announced before that move happens?
I think so. I think it just, for many reasons, just for the respect of our program and the idea of a lot more fans wanting to jump into this stadium. I mean, we have 1,500 that are squeezing into the stadium and another 1,000 that are sitting behind the outfield fence. So now we'll have a seat for every person to watch a game comfortably, and I think our attendance will continue to grow because of these matchups that are coming from Florida to Alabama to Arkansas and so forth. So it is important for recruiting as well, because we need to continue to feed this program and bolster the athletes that are in it to continue to compete. The level of intensity and competition will be extreme. So there are many purposes for this stadium. It has a lot of meanings in a lot of different areas for us.
Thanks, Patty.
Yep.
Go to Ryan Chapman.
Hey, Coach. First off, congratulations. We heard yesterday, when you first found out about the stadium, but when did the players first find out? What was their reaction? And you talked a lot about the future, but what kind of jolt can it bring to this team this year as they come back trying to defend your national championship?
Yeah, I told them just a few days prior to the announcement because I didn't want them to get shocked, and I had to put them on lockdown to make sure nothing leaked out because somebody would be in big trouble if that happened. And there's joy, and there's just almost a sense of overwhelm. Like, I just don't believe it. It's one thing to see it on paper, see the renderings, and go, wow. Some are excited because they know they're going to play in it. And some are like, why is it always me that is on the other end of these things? But I made sure they understood that they all have a piece of this. Their handprints are all over this stadium, as well as our alums. So they were excited, a little overwhelmed, honestly speechless. They're just they didn't even know what to say. We didn't look at the renderings together, but now that it's out there, we're going to talk about it piece by piece, and I think that'll bring them a little more reality.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
We'll go to Eric Bailey.
Patty, thanks for your time. Just wondering, when they were putting this together, and this is probably already out there, are we looking at a turf or dirt infield? Are you looking at natural grass?
Yeah, we got to stay natural. I'm not ready to.
Okay. And so when it comes to putting it together, I mean, how much feedback did you give toward everything, toward the stadium, toward the grass, choosing grass, the facilities, the practice facilities? How much impact did you have in this, and how much fun was it almost having like an open book going through, okay, I'd like to have this, this, and this?
Yeah, it's the process is still ongoing. I definitely had more say in this than I did with Marita Hines Stadium. I really had zero because I didn't know about stadiums back then. I never played in one. So when they built Marita Hines, it was done behind the scenes with me not really involved. Now I really want my handprints on this. I have been to a lot of stadiums. I know what our needs are. So myself, my staff are working with architects along with our administration. We did take a site trip to Texas A&M, which was really, really helpful for us. It really enlightened us in a lot of ways. So I am really pleased that I'm allowed to get in there, and I'm really trying to do research and taking notes on every stadium that we walk into, and I think it'll be about perfect when it's done.
Patty, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
Have a
you.
good weekend.
Thank
Have a good
you.
week.
Thanks.
We'll go to Joey Helmer.
Hi, Patty. Congratulations, first off. I was just wondering if you could just kind of put into context just how monumental this is for women's sports in general.
Beyond anything that I've experienced since I've been here at OU, and for our program to be in that spotlight with Love's travel stop and their family and joining forces just feels very empowering. And I know Jenny Love and her family are so proud of this opportunity to help women's athletics. They understand that this move is going to bring a lot of attention, not only to their business, but it's going to challenge other businesses out there to say, step up. Whether it's for women's basketball, volleyball, soccer, whatever it is, I think it can really help change things. But from our side, what is monumental for us is that we are able to be self-contained in our stadium. So we don't have to go to the women and men and women's basketball arena for me to sit here to talk to you via Zoom versus sitting in our classroom with cinder block walls. We don't have to go to football to use the cold tubs. We'll be able to have our own. There's just so many differences now where we are just self-sufficient. And since I have been here, we've always had to use or borrow somebody else's facilities. So that alone brings a lot of pride to our program. And I just can't wait to share all the details, because I think that's going to help other programs out there as well to see what they're missing out on. Because all of us, for the most part, have to continue to use other facilities within our campus because we don't have it for ourselves. And that's a big deal. That is a big deal. It's a big step towards legitimacy of a big-time facility for a big-time program.
We'll go to Ryan Aber.
Yeah, Patty, thanks for taking the time today. Two things. One, looking back, I understand that this is a reunion weekend for the 2000 team. Is that right?
It's for anybody. Yeah. Yeah.
All of softball. No,
Yeah.
excuse me. What does it mean to share that with those players who sort of paved the way to get you to this point? Especially that 2000 team, but really, everybody. And then looking forward, what does this project mean for your future as far as, how long you decide to coach?
Oh,
And
okay.
did it change that trajectory at all?
Yeah. Well, I'll start with the alums. The timing of all of this could not have been more perfect, that we get to celebrate with them this weekend. So on Saturday, we're also being awarded the national championship rings at halftime of the football game. I know they're going to announce publicly from the football game about the Love Stadium gift. To share that with our alums, I think sometimes alumni feel like they get forgotten. And that, without question, is not the case. And that is something I'm going to drive home with them this weekend. They have their handprints all over this. It started back for me in 1998, and it's just been building and building and building to the point of where we are right now. But if the foundation wasn't built back then, we wouldn't be sitting here where we are now. And that is just their play and their style of play is what brings people to enjoy watching them. And you just hear a lot of fans talk about how much they enjoy watching our team and the way that they play. They don't talk about their athletic ability, but more of their style of play. And I think that has grown and continued to stay with us from the early days to now. So to share this with the alums is going to be really, really special this weekend. I'm really excited about just, there's going to be a lot of emotion, and it's just all been held in for a long time because I've known about this for a few months, and I've been having to hold it in. So now it's just ready to explode with these guys. So it's going to be fun. On a personal side, if I'm being honest, I don't have a set date of when I'm going to be finished with my career here because I'm having the best time of my life now. I have grown into a coach that is not losing sleep at night like I used to. I'm not stressed and feeling sick all the time and nervous. I have found how to enjoy what I'm doing without letting wins and losses control my emotions. So I'm having a blast, and I just trust that I'm going to be standing in that stadium in 2024 for that first pitch, which I likely will break down right there in the third base coaching box when it actually happens. But I haven't thought out my future. There's no date set on it. And like I said, I feel like I'm my best me right now as a coach and just as a person that's dealing with a very difficult level of intensity. So this definitely is going to keep me going to 2024. You can be assured of that.
Hey, I appreciate it as always, Patty.
I like your beard there. You keep grabbing that beard. I like it.
I appreciate it.
We'll go to Jason B. from the League Daily.
Hey Patty, first off, congratulations. Kind of wanted to ask you two things. So I know you mentioned that you went to other facilities. Kind of walk me through what you were going to look for and kind of what you took away from other stadiums. And kind of give me perspective on, how big of a recruitment advantage is this for you guys?
Yeah, I started looking specifically in the Big 12 at Baylor University, who I believe has the best stadium in the Big 12. So thankfully, Glenn Moore and his staff let us walk around, gave us some details. I took a lot of pictures, and this was 7 years ago, that I would take pictures and make notes and keep those notes in my folders that's directly towards new stadium. So I've been collecting a lot of information for a while. A&M, what I'm looking for is functionality and just a lot of the little things that are going to make a difference for our coaching staff. I want the team area to be very comfortable, yet kind of a wow factor for them. A lot of programs put all their money in building your stadium up as high as you can get it so that when you walk in, you're like, wow, look at this, wow. And there's a lot of money that goes into building a stadium up. I want some of that money to go more into the comforts of our athletes and treating our athletes to an elite setting when they're before or after games, as well as our staff. I want an indoor facility that is functional, that is comfortable, that is big enough to allow you to swing, but allow coaches to watch, to get our video analysis in there. There are a lot of details in every part. Every nook and cranny is going to be thought about and have an idea for what we want in every location. So we're really putting a lot of thought and research into what we're doing. What was the other question? There was something else to that.
Oh, I was just asking about how big is this for?
For recruiting, yes. Tremendous. I would say if there's a missing piece to our program, And I'm talking about, when you're recruiting, you're looking at our Student Life Center, you're looking at Headington Hall, which is just a tremendous living facility. Our campus is beautiful. Everything is in order, but our stadium. That's the missing piece to this puzzle. And when this piece gets locked in, we have fully arrived. We've got our trophies, we've got our rings, but no one sees them because we have no place to put them and no showcase to show them. Now this is going to be off the charts, a wow factor for recruits when they come in. And just daily living, the morale and the respect for the athletes, I think they're going to feel something completely different. And we are going to treat that like it is gold. So there will not be any dirt on the rugs. There will be, it is going to be crystal clear and clean. So there is going to be a different feeling, I think, about this team and how they are going forward because they're finally feeling like they're worthy of having their own facility that encases everything, that we don't have to go beg or borrow from another program on campus. So I think it's just going to change the perspective of the athlete and just really excite some new recruits.
Back to Jason Kersey.
Yeah, Patty, when I hear you talk about what all this means to you and to the program to be self-sufficient, I'm wondering, this project was announced 3 years ago. Were you getting discouraged? Were you getting worried that it wasn't going to happen at any point?
Yes. When the announcement came out, it was really a capital campaign, like let's start raising some money for this. This is our dream, let's raise money. But I'm getting text messages off the charts on, so excited for you, congratulations, when are you gonna play in it? All of these things I have no answers for. And for the last 3-4 years, I've still been answering these questions with no answers. So this is finally where I feel like my feet are firmly on the ground and I'm firmly feeling like a shovel will be in the ground and away we go. We are there. And this is the closest I've ever felt to reality coming true. And with this love joining forces with us, this is it. And I don't even know. I am numb because I have been holding my guard up for a while, just like trying to deflect people's comments because I don't know the answer. We've got to count on wonderful fans out there to give these donations. And they have done a great job of creating a good foundation of money that we're so appreciative with. But it's a slow and steady pace that we've been working at, especially with COVID hitting, things slowed down a bit. So it's been moving for sure. It's just moving at a little bit slower rate. And this big donation coming in took us over the top. If we didn't have this, I don't know how long would be until we were able to put a shovel to the dirt. So this is the first time I felt actual reality, like this is really happening. So the emotions are just stuck in me right now. Easily when we get off this, I could be breaking down crying. I'm all over the place right now because of just overjoyed for our program and what it brings to the future of our program, but the future of other female athletes out there.
Thanks a lot, Patty. Congratulations.
Sure. Thank you.
We'll go back to Joey Helmer.
Hey, you talked about the importance of the alumni to your program. I'm just curious, how quickly did all of your former players reach out? What were the reactions? And could you expound a little bit on just what you talked about with how important the alums are.
Yeah, my phone is over here and I could scroll down and read you probably 40 text messages. They start off with, "I'm crying right now. I can't stop crying. I'm so proud." I think Holly Rowe's narrative, that 40-second narrative, just struck the heart of a lot of people, especially our alums. I've gotten texts from Marita Hines. The list goes on, to where I'm just trying to respond back, and it's hard. So I'm just putting a lot of hearts on all of the responses. So they're thrilled, and I just can't wait to see them today, because they're all going to be coming out to the field to watch an inter squad, and I just can't wait to see them. It's just going to be a celebration beyond lifting trophies. This is the biggest trophy that we could ever raise, is this new stadium and what it's going to do for our future. So we all know it, and everyone has been waiting for this for such a long time. The celebration is going to be probably a little out of control tonight, but I'm going to enjoy every minute of it.
We'll go, I think, last one to Ryan Chapman.
Hey, Patty, two little ones, again, just kind of on the facilities. First off, in the renderings, you talked about, the big terraces where it could actually increase capacity even more as far as standing room only, things like that. What do you think that'll do as far as just taking the atmosphere at a game to another level, even more than just being able to pack 3,000 people, but you've got another 1,000 people standing, that usually, increases rowdiness, all that kind of stuff?
The one thing that's wonderful about Marita Hines Field is the fans are right in the action. They're low. And that is what we really wanted to continue to create in this new Loves Field, is have the fans hands-on. So you're still going to feel and hear the sounds of the fans and their comments to the umpires and all those things that I can easily hear. But you're going to see everybody very comfortable. That is what I'm most excited about, is that there's so much room. We're more than tripling the size of our facility right now. So to me, that means comfort, more restrooms, more concessions, more comfortable seating. I just look forward to seeing families sitting together instead of we can only get 3 here and 2 more had to sit over there. I just think the atmosphere and the spirit that's going to live in that facility is going to be something we have never felt before. And I think the fan environment and just the fan experience and family experience, which is really important to me, that people walk away going, that was one of the most enjoyable moments I've had with our family. Those are the things we want you to say when you leave. And I think this new stadium is going to check all of those boxes.
And then you talked about looking so closely at other stadiums for things you want to integrate into yours, but when you move over to the player comforts, the clubhouse, stuff like that, have you been looking to even baseball stadiums across the country for what you guys can integrate? Like, why set the bar at just, this is a great softball facility, why not, increase that? Obviously, there's a great example of clubhouses and stuff that OSU just built. Has that been a consideration you've been working in?
100%. I mean, we're just looking at facilities in general or stadiums in general. So we were blessed enough to be at the 2019, I see your Atlanta hat, but in 2019, I believe it was, we were watching the Dodgers win, or was it 2020? The national championship.
It was last year, yeah.
Yeah.
It still hurts out, don't worry.
Yeah, well, good luck to you guys. But what's the name of that stadium, Patrick? Globe Life. We're sitting in Globe Life, and we're taking notes. And Globe Life is $1 billion stadium. And we're just taking notes about some of the things that we see that I'm sure we can't afford, but another version of it, or just the idea of the way things were set up. So wherever we go, we're searching it, whether it's softball, or if we ever go to like we'll go look at the baseball stadium as well if we're on campus somewhere. But we do a lot of work on the internet as well. My son JT is just fanatic when it comes to comparing and researching. He's got his hands involved in this as well. So we're trying to offer everything we can to the architects that makes sense, that is cost effective, but first class at the same time. So yes, we are searching every facility, and sometimes not even just baseball or softball, just graphics from other places, things like that. So we're going the extra mile. You can be sure of that.